And just like that, the 2024-25 OHL season is officially in the books. The London Knights completing the task at hand and winning the 2025 CHL Memorial Cup in Rimouski with a 4-1 victory over the Medicine Hat Tigers. What an impressive run by the Knights as they went 2-1 in the round robin after that 3-1 loss to the Tigers, but they really shut things down and played a very disciplined hockey game to go on to that victory. And there was really no doubt that the London Knights were on the verge of making history, winning their third Memorial Cup title in franchise history and third over the last 20 years. So remarkable stuff. I know there's several OHL fans who might be a little disappointed that Medicine Hat didn't win the title last night, but man, you got to give credit to Dale Hunter and this team. Just three straight runs to an OHL championship. They obviously fell short in 6 games to the Peterborough Petes 2 years ago, and then last year winning against the Oshawa Generals in the sweep, and then this year again against Oshawa. But the big thing, though, was the losing the championship in the dying moments last year against the Saginaw Spirit. And this team, they look like they had a chip on their shoulders, and they were able to get the job done when it mattered most. So congratulations to the London Knights, your 2025 OHL champion and CHL champion. So wanted to do our last video for the offseason outlook now that we know the final result of the London Knights. And and what can we expect with this team going forward? So in the 2025-25 season, they had a final record of 55, 11, and 2, 112 points. And of course, that would go on to win the OHL championship over the Oshawa Generals in 5 games. This was a team on a mission, like I said, falling short in the Memorial Cup in 2024. This team felt like they had some unfinished business, and this team also didn't need to make a lot of changes from that run. Obviously, you had your players that graduated who are overagers in 2024, but going into 2025, the big addition, of course, Cam Allen from the Guelph Storm. That was to solidify their defense. But at the time, I also felt they probably didn't even really need to make that move, just with the depth with Dickinson, Brustevich, and Bonk on the blue line. But Cam Allen just adding to that depth. And this team just able to shut things down. So 112 points, very impressive. When you consider in 23-24, they had 104 points. So they were able to improve on that total when they won the OHL championship in 4 games over Oshawa. In 2023, they had 92 points. That was the year they went off to the OHL final and lost in 6 games to the Peterborough Petes. And then in 2021-22, 85 points was their total. But remember, that was a year they were knocked out in the first round by the Kitchener Rangers. It was the Rangers who pulled off the upset in the 2022 playoffs. And really since then, you could see the core developing with Easton Cowan and Denver Barkey. This team would grow together as a team, and it would get to a championship run that we saw here in 2025. Now, the top scorers in the OHL playoffs this year, no surprise, Easton Cowan led the way. 13 goals, 26 assists, 39 points. And then at the Memorial Cup, being named tournament MVP is the Toronto Maple Leafs prospect, looking pretty solid in his final year of junior hockey. Of course, he's going to probably join the Toronto Marlies next year at least. I know the Maple Leafs will probably give him a look next year, but time will tell. Second in scoring, Sam Dickinson, 9 goals, 22 assists, 31 points in the playoffs. The San Jose Sharks prospect. And now the big question is, does he stick with San Jose next year? Or do the Sharks send him back to the OHL, as those are his only 2 options right now, either play in the NHL or in junior hockey. He's not eligible yet to play in the American Hockey League. Third in scoring in the playoffs was Sam O'Reilly, 7 goals, 15 assists, 22 points. Kasper Halttunen, another Sharks prospect, 15 goals, 6 assists, 21 points. Halttunen coming back late to join the London Knights from the Sharks, really took advantage of his opportunities and was a big piece in that playoff run, especially in the OHL final against the Oshawa Generals. Fifth in scoring, Denver Barkey, the captain, 9 goals, 11 assists, 20 points. Jacob Julian, 6 goals, 13 assists, 19 points. Landon Sim was 7th in playoff scoring, 12 goals, 3 assists, 15 points. Then you have Oliver Bonk, 8th in scoring, 2 goals, 12 assists, 14 points. Blake Montgomery, 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points in the playoffs. And rounding out the top 10 in scoring for London, Jared Woolley, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points. So for the London Knights, of course, winning the Hamilton Spectator Trophy meant they were the last team to pick in the OHL's first round. And they went out with a big player, Alex Campo, 23rd overall, 6'4". He's got the frame. Now we'll have to wait and see how that transpires into the Ontario Hockey League. Last year with the Eastern Ontario Wild, 11 goals, 21 assists, 32 points in 32 games. So point per game here for Campo, and we'll see how that translates into the OHL. Of course, the London Knights, they do like to take their time with prospects, give them enough opportunities to develop. It's, a lot of times you see them playing with the London Nationals, for example, the GOJHL, just to give them that extra seasoning to prepare for that leap to the Ontario Hockey League. So we'll see where Campo fits in once we get to training camp. But then you look at the OA candidates. This is where it's going to be very interesting for the Knights because only one of their 2005 born players is not NHL drafted, and that is Noah Abelfan. So we'll see. Does he stick around as an OA candidate? I would believe so. And then maybe the Knights look to add other overage candidates if none of these other players return. Considering Easton Cowan, he's probably playing with the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Marlies next year. Casper Haltonen, he'll probably be with the San Jose Sharks or the San Jose Barracuda next year. Jesse Nurmi, New York Islanders prospect. He's also an import, likely moving on from junior hockey. Blake Montgomery, he's going to go back to the NCAA. He is also an Ottawa Senators prospect. Remember, he joined the Knights after that vote was done back in November, and he decided to take his game to the OHL after being a commit to the NCAA. Then you've got Denver Barkey. He's obviously going to move on to join the Philadelphia Flyers organization or with the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And then you've got Cam Allen. Does he go with the Hershey Bears or the Washington Capitals? And then Oliver Bonk, another prospect of the Philadelphia Flyers. So there is a chance that one of those players does get returned for an overage season. And if that does happen, that would be a huge benefit for the London Knights. As the other question is Sam Dickinson. Does he come back? Because this defensive unit, I still feel is going to be one of the top units in the OHL next year. With especially when you've got the likes of Brustevich and Woolley on the back end. And then you just add Sam Dickinson. That unit would be solid because you don't usually see the Knights selling off in one of their retool or rebuild years. So they could trade off Dickinson. They have in the past. One player coming to mind is Cliff Poo. Remember when he was traded to the Kingston Frontenacs when they had their run about 7 or 8 years ago. So there is that chance that if he comes back, they trade him away. But I don't think we would see Mark Hunter trade away Sam Dickinson, just that talent, because I think if he returns, that would probably make them another contender in the Western Conference race next year. But still, this is I think this has a great foundation going forward. We'll also see Alexei Medvedev taking over the starting role after being in a 1A, 1B situation with Austin Elliott last year. So for the Knights, a down year, they still seem to be competitive. And I'm wondering if that's what we're going to see next year with this club. Dale Hunter doing a great job with systems. He's getting that buy-in. And the players coming through the system, they know what to expect as they move on up. The only thing is going to be, how does the NCAA factor into this? Are they going to be able to get other players to come over before going over to the NCAA? Or what kind of moves are they going to make? Are they going to make a big splash for one of the first-round prospects? But time will tell. But you can never count out the London Knights, it seems. And for 3 straight runs as Western Conference champions, quite remarkable. And now 2 OHL championships and a Memorial Cup with this core. So big congrats to this team. I know there's a lot of OHL fans who do not want to wish a congratulations to the London Knights, just all the success that they've had. But still, the numbers are there, and they hoisted the Memorial Cup last night in Rimouski. So now it's to see, how does this team bounce back? Who's going to be that next core that they focus on? So this is, if you're a London Knights fan, I'm sure you're pretty excited this morning about your team, and now preparing for that Memorial Cup parade through the streets of downtown London, as the celebration is going to continue, but it's also a shorter off season now for the London Knights as they prepare for training camp at the end of August. So thank you very much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.